You've been talking to the brother for how long now?
For like, well, okay. I said seriously, it's like
you said about 2 months.
Like 3 months, but seriously, it's been like 2 months.
Okay.
And when I
1 month wasn't
like took him, like when I was like, okay, let's, you know, my wali got involved.
All right, so we I'm only bringing this conversation up because it is different for non-Muslims, right? And so now me, I wasn't raised Muslim, so
okay.
I come from boyfriend girlfriend, like most people, right? So when you first get in, you know, when you part of Islam, you in a community, and then now you meet a person, you like them, they like you, you meet their parents or whatever the case is, and then we're talking about marriage after 2 months, a month. Some people I know get married after a couple of weeks or something. That's foreign for a lot of us that don't come from that background. I think the question I got really is like, what exactly is it, what do you expect to come from a situation like that? For me, I have my own answer because I know how I look at marriage, but I'm just interested to learn like what sisters think or how you look at that. And I want the opinion of the sister Fiona too, because she's not Muslim. Like, what does she think about that? Like, because it's a conversation that comes up in a barbershop a lot. A lot of people ask me this all the time. Like, yo, how y'all get married after a month? To me, it's the equivalent of dating. To me, personally,
right?
You know, what are your expectations? Being as though you're about to go through that, and I want to know what the sister Fiona think about.
So I mean, as far as my expectations, I feel like in Islam, I don't want to say it's a different set of expectations for the husband, but it essentially it is, because once you marry that man, you become his responsibility. If that doesn't sound like I'm itemizing women.
No. But what? I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. But now that you said that, right? What kind of what is the expectation for this brother? You known him 3 months,
right?
What are you expecting him to do? What obligation do you expect him to fulfill for you after 2 months of y'all seriously talking? And now you guys are gonna get married. Are you gonna move in together? Are you gonna blend your family immediately? Do you expect him to pay bills? Do you expect him what do you expect?
So because it was rather quick, like I'm an understanding person. So my expectations of it, like I said, communication number one. Communicate with me. I feel like in any marriage, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, atheist, agnostic, communication is always the first thing that is an expectation. I don't know how, let me not say I don't know. I'm one who gets to know somebody's love language or how you communicate so that I know how to effectively communicate with you, because communication isn't just me listening to be able to, it's listening to understand you and then give you feedback or whatever the case may be, a discussion. So number one, communication. Number two, I do expect him to be, the protector, maintainer, and provider for the household. But in the same token, we did have an agreement that while we're in the beginning stages, that he would handle certain things, like he would handle the rent, I would handle the utilities, and whatever we came in separately with, then we continue to pay on that. So like my car, I don't expect him to pay anything on my car, but for him, he's like, well, you're my responsibility now, so I'm going to help you pay it, or I'll pay it for you. My expectation is that you would treat my children the way that you would want me or anybody else to treat your children. I'm not one to just because you're my stepchild, I'm gonna treat you differently. I'm gonna treat you like my stepchild. No, I'm gonna treat you like you're my child, but again within within boundaries.
How soon? So you guys are gonna get married, and you guys immediately gonna move in together?
So we're in 2 different states. So that requires putting his 2 weeks, all that other stuff. So we agreed that 2 weeks, a month, then we'll move in together. He's currently looking for something out here. There's a brother out here that, alhamdulillah, is connecting him with a job. So if that job comes through, then he's gonna be here sooner. But we gave it a timeline because you don't want to just up and leave and then you can't take care of your family, you can't help out. You want to make sure that like I said to him, you need to make sure that before you come out here, you're straight, that your bills are straight, that everything you have to take care of is straight, and then you can come out here. Because then you're going to be out here sitting up in the house looking for a job, and we in a pandemic and not a lot of people are hiring, or they're hiring a limited amount of people, and you don't know. You never know. So you have something secure right now. So stick with that security right now. And then we will make that process. And that's not just for him. That was for any man that I was going to marry, whether they was in Maryland, DC, whatever. That was to slowly move you in, because my kids are not used to a man being here every day, all day. So you don't want to just.
So what's your time frame? So that's what I mean about the expectations. What time frame? You talking? You guys gonna slowly move in together over the next couple months, or?
Like within the next, like I'll say, like low end 2 weeks, higher end like a month.
That's still fast.
It's fast, but I feel like it's slower than, okay, we get married this day and now you're right in the house.
Okay. So, all right.
That's why he's saying that, because if it's too fast, then how he going to be able to just he's not going to be able to just go back. He already stuck with you.
Oh, he stuck with me regardless.
Hold on. That's great.
What?
That was funny. He stuck with you, but look, right?
Regardless.
So I'm asking,
right?
Muslim is here, because I'm telling you, after we done this, I really want to hear what Sister Fiona's opinion is of that. I can't wait to hear it, right? But so when you get married, I know the rules of fiqh. I know. I'm sure you guys know when it comes to the fiqh of marriage. Muhammad Khalil, he's the imam here. He knows all the rules. Sister,
no, I don't.
Yes, you do. Nigga, you know.
No, I don't.
No, we know we don't got to go through what the rules of fiqh are. We know them, right? I want to know, in the real world, in the world we live in 2020, what are you expecting men to pay when y'all just got married? I really want to know what's the dowry and what you expecting him to pay.
So my dowry wasn't, usually my dowry is a money amount. Well, when I say usually my dowry, when I'm
usually you never been married.
When I'm discussing marriage with a brother,
okay,
I usually have a money set as my dowry, and I go based on what he can pay.
How much?
I think I've said like 2,000. I've said, like, when I was younger, it was, I saw that fee. She went.
Girl, you gotta have to up your price. 2,000 kids who diddly squat. That's
that's a whole nother conversation. Wait, we'll get to that.
A dowry, and that's another thing. We as Muslim women and men have to know what the meaning of a dowry is.
Hold on, stick to the point. I want you to answer.
I'm sorry. See, I told Najima I can definitely she know I'm loving to talk about everything, but
we're gonna get the dowries. I want to know what you're expecting this man to pay for. What's your expectations? What is he gonna do? You guys gonna move in within a month, and then he's gonna pay. You said
he's paying the rent. I'm paying the utility. Go back in your room. And that's not just me saying, oh, you're paying the rent. We had that discussion. I was like, okay, are we splitting the bills 50-50? What are we doing? And he was like, well, I said, or are you paying everything? Like, what's going on? He was like, well, are you comfortable if I pay the rent and you pay utilities? Are you comfortable with this and that? Like, we threw out options to each other. And it was like, okay, well, you pay the rent. I'll pay the utilities. And again, like I said, the bills that we had separately, like phone bill, car note, car insurance, or whatever type you got with your car, it's going to stay separate. We decided, okay, we're going to get a joint account specifically for bills, and when it's time for him to be paid, he puts it in the account and I pay it. You know, I give it to the rental company. When it's time for the utilities to be paid, of course it's going to be in that account, but I'm gonna, all right, cool, that is going to be out of what I get paid from my job.
Okay, now, so Sister Najima, what are your expectations? I don't know what you got going on, but you want to say?
I have nothing going on but school and the rent.
No, well, all right, that's hypothetical. You meet a brother, you feeling him. What's your timeline?
I would like to court for 6 months. And inshallah, if I was in that situation where he's in another state and I would have to relocate, I wouldn't mind relocating. Honestly, I'm ready to get out of Dodge as far as Brooklyn is concerned. I'm over Brooklyn. But if it was the other way around, if I was in her situation and he's relocating, he would have to move in after the probationary time at that new job. The job has to be secured before any idea of moving in would occur. And as far as being around, if I had children, he would have to come on the weekends, on his day off, let the kids get warm up to him. So that's kind of how he has the entryway with a sense of familiarity with him. So when he has to make that transition to permanently being that resident there, the kids would be familiar and they'll anticipate seeing him rather than springing it onto them.
Okay, so what do you expect him to pay, and how much is the dowry?
I never thought about a dowry because I never spoke to any brothers pertaining to marriage. So I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Excuse me?
No niggas.
I've had people push brothers towards me, but I never reciprocate. It's about reciprocity at the end of the day. If I'm not interested, I don't move forward because I don't want to waste nobody's time, let alone mine. So but I've never. I don't know. I don't know what it would be. I never got that far.
Because the thing is, like, what would be your dowry expectation?
All right, so I want a nameplate belt that say his name, and then no, I'm just playing. I don't know whoever that brother might be. Inshallah, if he wants me to wear a ring, he can get me a ring. I don't care really about that too tough. When I was younger and before Islam, I cared about stuff like that. Don't really care about it now. I would love to maybe have I don't know. I would, just like the sister said, it pertains to what the brother's situation is. If the brother's not hitting 6 figures, I'm not gonna be like 10K. You know, that's wild. If I had to choose between monetary and securing a home and my name on the deed, I would prefer the home. You know, because I want a house secure for my kids to be raised in. Inshallah, inherit when we're not here. So.
Okay, so all right, we got the dowry, right? Now, what's your expectations of the man?
Well, I plan to have a thorough contract drawn up, inshallah. But before there's any intention, right, as soon as intentions are set, you have to agree to thorough background checks, HIV, STD screening, mental health checks, and if you decline, it's off. I'm not willing to budge on that. So my expectations before anything is that if you decline to that, you know, I'm gonna gracefully bow out the situation and give the halal, you know, curve, which is may Allah find you someone better than myself, and keep it pushing. If we make it to nikah, my expectations is for him to hold down the fort and make sure that the house is good. If he's a homeowner, he's paying the mortgage as he did before I came in the picture. If he decides to purchase a home to put me in, mashallah, he holds down the mortgage, and I don't mind working. My expectations after kids come into the picture will be different, because I would like to be in the home to rear the children and transition from working outside to doing remote work. And but that's to be discussed. You know, there's brothers that said they don't want their wife to work, so it depends on the brother. And I'm not comfortable with a brother taking me out the workforce if he doesn't have the tax bracket to support that, because Allah forbid he becomes sick or he falls ill on the job. If you do not have enough bills to hold us down for 6 months plus until you recover or go back to work, I don't want to be underwater. So it's something that has to be tactically planned, because we have to be realistic, and things are mapped out for us to not, you know, get in over our heads. You make haste as it pertains to marriage, you know, if the opportunity presents itself, but you want to make sure things are in order before you go in. That's why we say we don't do love marriages. We marry for practicality, and then we anticipate the process of falling in love with each other as time goes by. That's how I see it.
Yeah, very. It seems like you read The Ideal Muslima, at least.
Right, yeah. They do.
What happened?
You're killing it. You've read The Ideal Muslima.
Yeah, she had to, man. That was
no,
too
I
good.
haven't.
That was too
I
good.
haven't read no books, and my sister here, she could tell you how many. Like, I have this book right here. I don't know if y'all can see it because of my background. I've been trying to pry this thing open for how long? Have yet to read it.
The diseases.
It's called The Diseases of the Heart and Their Cure. It's because of my screen. My bad. Still have you. I'm so, and I was speaking to one of my sisters today. I said I'm so bad at reading my Islamic books. Besides, you know, reading the Quran. If I'm up, I'll be up for hours after Fajr. I'll read a couple pages. But besides that, I have so many Muslim books, but I don't crack them open. What's the name of the book that you said?
So who's the author of that book?
The Ideal Muslima.
The Ideal Muslima. What does that look like? Inshallah, send me a picture of that.
It's a joke. I want to know Sister Fiona's opinion, because you're not Muslim, right? And so, but you have Muslim friends, right? So when you hear that, like you've heard this, right? Where you meet somebody or you know somebody and the sister is getting a short period of time or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What do you think about how Muslims get married?
I don't.
In the process.
I don't have anything against it. I understand the religion. I understand the religion, so I'm very familiar with it. So I don't have any qualms about it. I just hope that, you know, like a lot of people that are getting married with pure intentions, right? And not just say I'm getting married just to be married or just to have someone take care of them, like from a female perspective. So I mean, I don't have anything negative to say about it. That's their chosen lifestyle, and I respect it.
Well, no, I'm not asking you.
Would I do it?
That's what I'm asking.
No.
Okay, why not?
I would not do it because I believe that 3 months, right? Or for me, like I want to be sure, like I don't know, I want to be sure that this choice that I'm gonna make now in this, no matter what time frame, it's gonna affect the rest of my life. So I'm one to tend to take my time. So that I've been in a situation like that before. I've dated a Muslim before, like when I was way younger, and I did not understand. And we went our separate ways because of marriage, and I felt like I wasn't ready to be married, and I didn't want to rush the process, right? So I understand it, and it works for some, but for me, who's not Muslim, who was not born Muslim, I don't feel like I have enough knowledge to say, yes, this is for me. If the time comes and I'm well educated and I'm submersed in the religion, then maybe. But for me now, I would not.
So are you dating now?
No.
No? Have you been recently?
No.
Within this year?
No. I went on no, because I've been single for a whole year. I attempted to date that lasted like literally like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you weren't single last year, right?
no.
Okay, so how long were you in that relationship for?
What, 6 months?
6 months. So in the beginning of that relationship, you guys courted, right?
Yes.
All right. And dates?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
Went on dates and stuff, right?
Right.
All right. So at some point, you guys decided to start spending more personal time with each other, right?
Yes.
Okay. But for you, when does like, I mean, I know the answer, but I just like to hear other people's opinion. When we're adults, when do we start making the decision that like we go together?
I don't feel like there's a number on that. I just feel like it's a feeling. Like when you both y'all decide that, okay, this is it. Like I don't have a real time frame.
There's no time frame, right? So how long did it take you to go together? In that 6 months, you was together for 6 months. How long before you started going together? Where you was like, this my nigga, this my girl. He don't do nothing else. I don't do nothing else. We together.
It was more like when we started spending more time together, when we wanted to really get to know each other, when we were spending more time talking to each other and so forth.
Did you sign a contract?
No.
Did you do a pinky swear?
No.
All right. So, but in the reason why I had this conversation all the time with non-Muslims, right? Because a lot of times they don't understand. So when you come from, and this was my mistake too, when the first time I got married, in the same, I had my understanding of marriage was, like, yo, when I get married, I'm going to be with this woman for the rest of my life. And doesn't mean that we shouldn't have that expectation, because we probably should, as you probably do too. And that's why you say you more careful and want to, think things through and take your time and stuff, right? Hello? You there? You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, I didn't know if it looked like you froze for a minute. Now, so what ends up happening, right, is in the Islamic world, right, our rules are pretty much the same. Like, when we decide that we going together, it's got to be formally said. Like, you know what I mean? There's got to be a contract. There has to be, because there's rights that each person is given. You know what I'm saying? Now, it may seem foreign, like when you hear like, all right, well, Muslims, they might start, being married within 2 months or 3 months or 2 weeks or whatever it is, right? And sometimes that is kind of fast. I'll be honest. You know what I mean? Especially when you're talking about living with somebody, whatever. But the difference in that marriage is no different than you going with that guy. And I don't know how many weeks or, how long it took before you guys started feeling serious to, because the whole relationship lasted 6 months, you said, right? So, but at one point, what was like over a few weeks or something when it started getting serious?
I think like 2 months.
2 months, right? So your 2 months, no different than her 2 months.
Yeah, like I'm not like that's fine.
You're not judging. I know you're not judging. I'm just trying to make the point. It's really kind of the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that we attach the word marriage to it. And so when we say marriage, it does sound like, very, very, and don't be wrong, it is serious, but it sounds a whole lot more serious than the way it comes off to the people that aren't in the Muslim community. You know what I mean?
Yes, because people got that notion that marriage is like, this matrimonial way of, and I got to be this way and this way, and I got to be good in this grandiose way. And you're like, it's a contract.
Yeah.
Nikah means contract. Like Sister Najima mentioned. But I think that everybody had this weird perception of marriage. Like, I got to have my life together. I got to have this. I got to have this. And he got to have this. And then that's marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you, though, when she mentioned that her dowry was $2,000, why'd you say it should be more?
I feel like, well, I don't know her reasons, but for me, I feel like 2,000 just if that's what I don't know how to put it. Me personally, like if I was to choose a dowry, mine wouldn't be money, right? Like I would prefer choose like Najima says, a house, like someplace instead of him moving to where we are, let's have something together, right? So my dad would be okay, we want to be together, we want to be married. I don't want anything physical. Let's have a roof, right? So
the thing is, right?
mhm,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but the rule in Islam, the dowry is something he gives to you. It's not his. It belongs to you.
Yeah.
So saying like, all right, now he could give you a house, but that's your house. It's
right,
your house, and it's not his house. He
right.
might live there, he might be there, but it's yours to keep. Y'all break up, it's still yours. So anything that
That's why I said my name got to be on the deed. All
yeah,
right.
the thing. Now, if there's like an annulment of the marriage, then he could ask for that back, and that would annul the marriage. But for the most part, that's why people choose
Something that
you
in return.
know tangible things because it's something it's a gift to the bride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so you would want something that was, I mean, it's got to be tangible, but not something. You think that was a small amount of money, or you just would rather like a ring, or you
I
said
mean, what for me, that's a small amount.
okay. So what amount you think is a decent amount?
Minimum 5,000.
Why?
I feel I feel like with the gift should be enough to put a dent in something, right? So for me, who is paying back student loans, and if I want to be debt free by a certain time, and I'm going to get married, I feel like that the monetary value would have to put a dent in something, right? So if I'm going to ask for a certain amount of money, it's going to be amount that's gonna long term make my life better or speed up the process of something, right? So even if I do ask for $5,000, I know with $5,000 that's a year of my student loan payments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or that is 3 months of my rent, right? If we're not married yet and I'm still living alone. But I feel like the money should be, well, if you know and you got to pay back, it should be a month that you should pay back. But for me, I feel like the money should put a dent in something, not just to go blow on shoes or to go blow on clothes or something. It should be the money should, in my opinion, for me, the money would be used to put a dent in something that I already have to take care of.
Okay.